Have you ever visited Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World and wondered how the magic ever came to be? Well, it all started back in 1959 when Walt Disney decided he wanted to open a second Disney resort to supplement Disneyland in California, which opened in 1955. A survey taken around that time period revealed that only 5% of the guests who visited Disneyland came from east of the Mississippi River, where about 3/4 of the population of the U.S. lived. Years passed and several sites were explored and passed on for the potential new resort, but it wasn't until November 1963 when Walt took a flight over the potential Central Florida location when he found the location he desired. Walt saw firsthand the well-developed network of roads, as well as the planned construction of Interstate 4 and the Florida Turnpike. Along with McCoy Air Force Base, later named Orlando International Airport, Walt fell in love with the location. Back in California, the planning had begun for the new resort, and the new project was dubbed the Florida Project. In 1964, Walt Disney used various dummy corporations to hide the identity of the project to acquire over 27,000 acres of land. Some of the companies used in the transactions were I-4 Corporation and Latin America Development and Management Corporation. Some of these are now memorialized on a window above Main Street, USA in Magic Kingdom. Once the transactions went public in spring of 1965, rumors flew of who was buying up the land. These rumors went from NASA, Ford, Howard Hughes, and even the Rockefellers. Disney was also thrown into the mix of popular rumors as well by the Sentinel in May of 1965. Disney denied any involvement in the land transactions, trying to keep everything a secret. Another story published by the Sentinel in October that same year brought even more evidence to light that Disney was behind the purchases. 3 days after that article was published, Disney asked the governor of Florida to confirm the rumors on October 25th. The original plan was to announce the park on November 15th, and the plans for that stayed in place where Disney joined the governor in Orlando for the announcement. Planning continued through 1966 until tragedy struck, though, in December, when Walt Disney died of circulatory collapse caused by lung cancer. Walt's brother and business partner, Roy, delayed his retirement until after the completion of Phase 1 of the resort's construction. Disney broke ground on Magic Kingdom in 1968 in the newly zoned Reedy Creek District, which was basically a city ran by Disney. During the construction of Magic Kingdom, both the Contemporary and Polynesian resorts were being constructed and completed in time for Magic Kingdom's opening. The Palm and Magnolia golf courses found near Magic Kingdom were opened in September 1965, a couple of weeks before Magic Kingdom opened. Magic Kingdom opened on October 1st, 1971, with 23 attractions, 3 unique to Magic Kingdom, and 20 which were replicas of attractions found at Disneyland. Magic Kingdom is split into 6 themed lands. 5 were copied from Disneyland: Main Street USA, Adventureland, Frontierland, Fantasyland, and Tomorrowland, the 6th land being Liberty Square, rather than the Disneyland's version, New Orleans Square. About a month after the opening of Magic Kingdom, Fort Wilderness Resort opened. That December, Roy Disney passed away less than 3 months after the opening of the park. The following year, Disney's Village Resort opened along with Lake Buena Vista Golf Course. In 1973, Disney opened the Golf Resort, which is now known as Shades of Green Resort, which is owned by the U.S. Department of Defense as a morale, welfare, and recreation program. Have you ever heard of Discovery Island? Well, I never did either until making this history video. Discovery Island was opened in 1974 and was located in the middle of the lake that is between Magic Kingdom and the parking lot. Originally named Treasure Island, this 11-acre island was a park on its own in a way, and was a place to observe wildlife, and later on was a zoo until it closed in 1999. This island still sits abandoned to this day, and the structures remained on the island as they were when the island was in 1999. Lake Buena Vista Shopping Village, later named Disney Springs in 2015, was opened in 1975. In that same year, Space Mountain opened in Tomorrowland at Magic Kingdom. In 1976, the first water park at Walt Disney World was opened. River Country was themed as a rustic old-fashioned swimming hole and was closed in 2001. River Country is only the second and last park to close permanently at Walt Disney World. Things moved along for Walt Disney World through the rest of the 1970s, until later on in the decade, Walt Disney World broke ground on what is the largest construction project on the planet at the time, Epcot Center. 11 years to the day after Magic Kingdom opened to the public, Epcot Center opened in 1982 as Walt Disney World's second park in Florida. Did you know that Epcot is actually an acronym and stands for Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow? Epcot Center was based off the City of Tomorrow concept that Walt Disney himself had when originally planning the Florida resort. Throughout the 80s, the Morocco and Norway pavilions were added to the World Showcase at Epcot. In 1988, the Grand Floridian and Caribbean beach resorts were opened. The following year in 1989 brought the opening of two more parks, with the first being the third major theme park, MGM Studios, and the second being the second water park, Typhoon Lagoon. In 1990, 4 new resorts opened on the property, which included World Swan, World Dolphin, Yacht Club, and Beach Club resorts. The following year, 2 additional resorts opened, Port Orleans Resort, the French Quarter, and Old Key West Resort. In the year after, the Riverside Resort of Port Orleans opens, as well as the Bonnet Creek Golf Club. In the same year in 1992, one of the classic rides in Magic Kingdom opened, Splash Mountain, which recently closed in 2023 and is being rethemed. 2 years later, Disney's All-Star Sports Resort, All-Star Music Resort, and Wilderness Lodge Resort opens up. At MGM Studios, Tower of Terror opened on Sunset Boulevard. In 1995, the third water park at Disney World opened, Blizzard Beach. The following year, Disney's Boardwalk Inn and Villas opened for guests, followed by Coronado Springs Resort and the Worldwide Sports Complex in 1997. The latest of the major parks to open was Animal Kingdom in 1998. Test Track was opened the following year at Epcot in 1999, along with the All-Star Movies Resort, and as mentioned before, Discovery Island was closed as all the animals on the island were moved to Animal Kingdom. In 2001, Animal Kingdom Lodge was open to guests, as well as the closure of Disney's River Country Water Park. 2 years later, in 2003, Mission Space was opened in Epcot, along with Disney's Pop Century Resort. 2004 was a very chaotic year for Disney World, as the parks were closed on 3 separate occasions due to hurricanes. In that same year, Saratoga Springs Resort and Spa opened up right before hurricane season. In 2006, Expedition Everest opened in Animal Kingdom. All through the 2000s, several attractions were added and closed at every park on the Disney properties. In 2008, Disney renamed MGM Studios to Hollywood Studios. 4 years later, the Art of Animation Resort opened its doors along with the Phase 1 expansion of Fantasyland at Magic Kingdom, with included Under the Sea. Phase 2 of the Tomorrowland expansion, which included the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, opened 2 years after Phase 1 in 2014. After the huge box office success of the first Avatar movie, Disney opened up the Pandora Land inside of Animal Kingdom in 2017. The year following, Toy Story Land was opened at Hollywood Studios. And the year after that, Star Wars Galaxy Edge was opened in Hollywood Studios, along with Rise of the Resistance, which came with a virtual queue system. The latest resort to open that same year was Riviera Resort, which was a Disney Vacation Club resort. In 2020, just before COVID-19 shut everything down, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad opened for a whole 2 weeks before every park was shut down. It wasn't until July 11th when Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom were opened again at limited capacity, and July 15th when Epcot and Hollywood Studios reopened as well. 2021 brought the 50th anniversary of the opening of Magic Kingdom and Walt Disney World, which brought lots of celebrations to the park. Over in Epcot, Remy's Ratatouille opened in the France Pavilion in the same year. In 2022, Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser opened for reservations, but in the following year was closed due to lack of bookings. In the same year Star Cruiser opened, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind opened. The latest additions to Walt Disney World is Tron Lightcycle Run at Tomorrowland in Magic Kingdom. This brings us to the current state of Walt Disney World and concludes the walkthrough of how Walt Disney World became what it is today. If you enjoyed this history lesson, please remember to like and share this video and subscribe for more vacation content. This has been Justin from Adventures Away. Until next time, have a great one.